Hey, how we doing, gang? Kawaii50 here with another video, and today we are gonna talk about Nikkei. Now, you might have heard some stuff about Nikkei. It is a game made by Shift Up that many, including myself, have been referring to as the gun butt game. There's a lot of butt stuff that happens in that game. But what we're here to talk about today are some of the issues revolving around this gun butt game. Now, let me preface this with the following. Let me preface this before we get into it. I unironically want Nikkei to succeed. I want Nikkei to succeed. I really do. I went into the game for the novelty of it. Just, okay, I see everyone in my circles is playing this game. I'll just go ahead and check it out. And the story is actually really, really good. The soundtrack is just filled with bangers. I mean, let me just, whatever. I'll play a sample of this really quick. Go. Yeah, stuff like that. And there's just a lot of things about the game I really, really do like. However, there seems to be a lot of cases of mismanagement, a lot of cases of them implementing things without really thinking stuff through, and in this early portion of the game, not doing that is crucial for player retention. And just in general, people suspecting a lot of shady things and incompetent things out of Shift Up. So I'm going to go over some of the stuff I've seen. I've been relentlessly scrolling through the Nikkei mobile subreddit and the Gacha gaming subreddit so you don't have to. And I will be sure to credit my sources, don't forget that. So hopefully this video helps you start to get a grasp over what's happening in general with Nikkei. Go ahead, like, and subscribe if it does. Alright. So let's start with the thing that kicked this off and in general made me realize that I needed to, make some sort of video to try and push this out into the ether. This was a post on our Gacha Gaming made by Blue Fortuna, collecting a bunch of data from people who have been posting on Naver, which is a forum for the Korean player base to go ahead and talk about it. And Korea in general was very angry. They are very, very angry. And there were a lot of claims that have actually seemed like they've led to some positive changes in the form of Nikkei. Let's start with this first bit here, manipulation of gacha rates. Now, there are some claims right now that Nikkei is manipulating and secretly changing the gacha pull rates. A user outlined that he did close to 800 pulls with a result of only 12 SSRs obtained. And yeah, I've had a slew of terrible luck in Fate Grand Order myself. I haven't pulled freaking any SSR for a very, very long time. So I'm no stranger to the salt, but unfortunately, Shift Up does have a history of manipulating probabilities for gacha rates. There was actually a lawsuit against them doing this with another game, Destiny Child, and they had to pay out a substantial settlement as well as refund every single bit of currency that every player in the game used since the game was released as compensation. So, wow, that was kind of a mind blower. I didn't really follow Destiny Child that much, but damn, that is insanity. There are a couple of things where users are talking about they were thinking that the rates were changed around the time the Helm banner came out. There's a bunch of posts about the same topic. In general, users are just having crazy moments where they haven't pulled like any SSRs. And this could all be anecdotal evidence. It really could be. I don't have anything that speaks a truth one way or the other. I myself have pulled quite a few SSRs on Nikkei, so I really can't say that this is any sort of issue personally affecting me. I myself have like 3 to 4 teams of full SSRs that I could field using entirely different characters, and I have not spent any money on the game. So it really, I guess, depends on luck, but because there is this issue previously where the gacha rates have been manipulated, is a little bit of a cause for worry. There's also a huge issue in Nikkei right now with bugs. Some of these were patched out recently, but I can speak from before the patch that there are a lot of bug issues with Nikkei right now, and a lot of players have been saying on the Korean forums that it doesn't really seem like they either have enough people to fix all these bugs, or they have just been grossly incompetent with some of these other bugs. 2 of the top posts on Naver outlined a skill up bug, where no matter how much you leveled up your character's skills, even though it has some sort of all-around effect on your battle power, the effect of the skill itself doesn't actually increase. This is compounded by the fact that Nikkei does sell an expensive skill book package to increase the skills of your character. However, with the bugs in the game right now, you were effectively paying for nothing, since the skill up didn't actually end up affecting your character. So that was a big deal. You actually really do have to invest in skills on your character to help get up your battle power, because the battle power issues in the game are pretty steep, and we're going to get to that in a second. Before we get into the talk about battle power, I do want to talk about the fact that a lot of players are saying, hey, we don't really know if Shift Up has a lot of the resources to actually fix this stuff in a timely manner. Shift Up is recruiting for a number of critical positions right now, which could be good, could be bad. It could mean that Shift Up really wants to push Nikkei because the game has actually made a lot of money. It actually ended up passing FGO on the JP charts, which is insane. Any single game that is able to do that seems like it really does have a bright future ahead of it. But Shift Up doesn't seem like it has the manpower right now to deal with this. If they end up getting some manpower and this pushes the game forward and ends up bringing about a lot of critical fixes, that is awesome. That is fantastic. That is what we want to see out of our game developers. But at least right now, a lot of Korean users are claiming that Shift Up isn't really expanding as aggressively as they should, and they should have had these critical positions in place before even releasing the game. That, you can take from that what you will. Now, to get into the battle power discussion, I kind of have to tie this in with talking about the current big event going on right now, No Caller ID. So No Caller ID is Nikkei's first big event, and you would expect with a gacha game that for their first event, they'd, make it kind of a cakewalk to really try to get all of the new players invested and give them a bunch of rewards for being early adopters for the game. But that didn't seem to be the case. 2 days ago, when the No Caller ID hard mode opened, it was unbeatable for the vast majority of normal users. Someone on the Gacha Gaming subreddit, Deduct2, posted a image of a hyper whale account. This is somebody that has spent a ton of money on the game, a ton of time on the game to try to get their Nikkeis as powerful as possible. And you can see that they are just barely scratching the surface of the recommended battle power. And you need to hit the recommended battle power for the vast majority of content in this game, including story stages. because for every bit that your battle power is below the recommended level, your Nikkeis, it's not just them failing to meet the power requirements and you being able to just power through by, you know, actively controlling the stage instead of running it on auto, actively going in there and using all of your skills yourself. No, you end up actually getting debuffs to your entire team for every bit that you are below the battle power. So you actually need to hit that battle power. That is a hard cap for you completing these stages and going through all of the events, as well as the story, which you really need to do in order to push forward in the game. You can see at the top of this person's account, they have multiple copies of some very critical SSRs. So we have like as many copies as humanly possible in these characters for the vast majority of them. And even then, they are barely scratching the surface of this battle power. Now, Nikkei did actually lower the difficulty of the hard mode yesterday, and it was actually a pretty significant decrease. I wasn't able to do the very first stage of the hard mode. Now, I myself have started late playing Nikkei, but I was actually able to clear it after they ended up doing this debuff. So that was very, very important for a lot of players in the game. That was a very nice little push towards goodwill. But as it stands right now, the future in general is just pretty uncertain for Nikkei. A lot of players are very worried about the direction that the game can be going in, and for good reason. If you really enjoy a game, you tend to really want it to succeed. And we have to remember that we can like games, much like people are doing with the new Pokemon coming out right now. We can like franchises. We can enjoy franchises. We can enjoy games in those franchises. And we can still be critical of some decisions that have been made regarding that, purely out of a love to try to make it better. Remember, only if you complain will things eventually get better. So overall, I am hoping Nikkei is able to fix a lot of their issues. I hope they get fairly aggressive with the bug fixes. I hope that if SSR fixing isn't happening, that they're able to sort of quash those rumors and reassure players. If it is happening, I really hope that they are able to, you know, stop, don't do that, and give us quite a bit of compensation and assure us it will never happen again and actually commit to it. And I hope in general Nikkei is able to hit a state where my iPhone 13 Pro isn't starting to overheat to the point where it refuses to charge because I am running the game. I kind of feel like I would really like them to address that maybe some point in the future. But I want to know what you all think about Nikkei. So let me know how you feel about the game down in the comment section below. Let me know in general which Nikkei is your favorite if you are super duper down with this game. At this point, I'm kind of leaning mostly towards Helm just because I ended up pulling 2 copies of her. She really seems like she enjoys my company. So I've got to, of course, reciprocate that myself. Anyways, gang, that's it for me, Kawaii50. I have a Nikkei channel on my Discord if you want to go ahead and talk about Nikkei there. Big shout out to patrons on Patreon, subscribers and followers on Twitch, and of course, all of you here on YouTube for giving me the motivation to continue making these videos. I legitimately appreciate it. But I hope you all have a phenomenal day. I'll see y'all in the next one.